Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hey,
How's
yes.
everyone? I am so excited about this day. I just thank God for another day. I thank God for the beautiful women that He is bringing into my life. And Crystal, kudos. I know you don't hear it enough because you're always working, but I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do what God has gifted me to do through your vision. Thank you so much. And to all the other lovely ladies who I've also met, I thank you for the push. You know, the enemy, he tries, but he will not win. So I thank you that we didn't conform. We did not conform to what the world has going on, but we found another way and we still push through. So the word says, do not conform to the world, but be transformed. So we're still transforming other women
Yes.
today. And I'm just so excited to be a part of it. So, with that being said, I am to talk about communicating your value. And before I speak about that, I want to first tell you that I was one who did not do very well in communicating my value in my younger life. But I'm brand new and I'm okay with who I am and who God has created me to be. And I want to use that to bring someone else into being okay with who they are, because what I've learned is when you're okay with how God has created you, flaws and all, that's when you can contribute to helping other people, because no one's perfect. Amen. So with that being said, I have a few slides and I think that's going to help me to kind of just get through everything and make sure I don't ramble off. So Crystal, can you help me with that?
Yes, I got you.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
put it on and then you just tell me when to go to the next slide.
Okay.
And I already have it up, so I'm gonna
Okay,
go
perfect.
ahead and go to it.
Thank
So
you.
people will be able to see your picture up there in the top corner,
Okay.
but you'll see everybody's picture.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So we're communicating our values. Next slide, please. Okay, so the three principles of communicating your values. The first one is knowing your value. The second will be respecting others' value. And the last will be, I can't even see that slide. Consistency with your value. Next slide.
You can collapse your
My thing here.
yeah, that little thing, you
There
just
we go.
press the collapse. Yeah.
Got it. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So the first one, knowing your values. Know who you are and stand by what you believe and build healthy boundaries. I'm not stating that everything that you know is holy grail, but sometimes we veer from who we know that we are just to conform to what others want us to be. You must be okay with who you are and not conform to the opinions of others. Some people will see your greatness and they will water it down just so that they can feel better about themselves. So when we know our value and we know who we are and whose we are, no one else can sway you to think differently about yourself. The next portion says you are equipped with a divine purpose, and if you follow someone else's trait and or beliefs, you'll miss and abort your purpose, causing someone else to not reach theirs. So with that being said, is sometimes God has put you in the path of certain people or places so that you can help them to understand who they are. And if you begin to do what they're doing or conform to who they want you to be, you were put there possibly to help that person, but because you were um, so wanting to make them like you or whatever the case may be, their values may have not been your values, but you conformed to what they believed and you aborted the mission. You weren't able to help them because you conformed to what they wanted you to be instead of being who you were created to be. Next slide. Respect others' values. It's okay to have different values than others, but you must respect their values also. This goes for personal, relational, business, and religion. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone was raised differently. Everyone, has different ways of doing things. And that's okay, because in the world, we're not supposed to be the same. Even identical twins have different values. They are different people. Even though they may look the same, they may say the same things, they may even act the same, but they would have totally different values from one another. So I think as a people, especially women, we forget that it's okay to be different. It's okay that you don't look like me. It's okay that you don't pray the way that I pray. It's okay that you don't do work the way that I do it. It's okay. And I think we're forgetting to let each other know that it's okay. Because what's happening is we're trying to be like the next person or not shine because we don't want to outshine the next person. That once again, we're not walking in our purpose. The second one says, we are all wired differently for a reason. We add value to each other. You will have differences, but remember, it doesn't have to always be your way. I used to be that person that's like, no, I wouldn't do it that way. We should do it this way. No, I wouldn't do it that way. We should do it this way. That's not the way to be. And I can say that now because I've changed. And I've learned too, by not always being your way, there will be other people that can come into your path that can help you get to where it is you're trying to go if you allow it. Some of us are not allowing women to come into our lives and help us to be better because we're either intimidated, we don't want to be one up, or whatever the case may be. And most of the time it's self. It's never the person that's trying to help you or better you or encourage you. It's self. It's something inside of us that we're having an issue with, that we're not wanting to allow others to assist us. So be willing to listen, understand, and then communicate your differences. It's okay to have differences. If you do not agree, you have a talk with one another. You sit down and you say, hey, you said this, I disagree. Let's come to let's communicate it and find a way to make it work for the both of us. It can't be just one side. It has to be, you have to be able to work together as a unit to make it work. Imagine having a world where everyone acts, looks, talks, and walk like you. Think on that. How would this world look if there were billions and billions of Tanishas walking around? That's scary. That is very scary. And ask yourself that, what would the world look like if only you, people that look like you, people that thought like you, people that dressed like you, were the only people that you saw? What type of world would we have? What do you think is the number one reasons that marriages fail? And you're probably thinking, where did that come from? But I'm going somewhere. So there's a method to my madness. But what do you guys think is the number one reason that a marriage fails? Anyone?
Finances.
Okay. Anyone else? She said finances. Anyone else?
Not supporting each other.
Okay. So studies have told that for 100 people, it was a study done by 100 people to see what they say are the top reasons married couples decide to split up.
No communication.
Yes, ma'am. Number one, communications. Problems come out on top as the number one reasons that marriages fail. You would think it would be finances. You would think that it would be, but it's communicating. You cannot have success in anything, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a business, whatever it is, you have to communicate. You have to be able to speak to one another and respect one another's values. I'm pretty sure every woman on here watching has had an instance where something didn't go the way it should have because you didn't communicate, or something went awesome because you did communicate, or it could be the opposite. Next slide. Consistency in values. We have to be consistent. You can't say that you're valuing your worth, and I'm going to step on some toes, and I'm being very transparent because I've done this before. You can't say that you're showing it, being an example to the community or being an example to young girls, and then you go to Facebook and you post the wrong thing or you say the wrong thing. There has to be consistency in everything that you do, and when it comes to your values as a person, your values as a business, your values as a wife, your values as a mother. It has to be consistency. So if you're consistent with your values, others will follow. There are some people that sit around and they wait for your consistency to fall off and say, I knew it. She's not who she said she was. Prove them wrong, but be consistent. Now, I'm not saying that you will not have an off day, because we all do. And that's okay because you're human. But what I'm saying is, let there be a consistency to where if your character was put on trial, someone can say, that's not the Tanisha I know. Does that make sense? So the second one says, most people will not tell you how they respect and value you, but you can measure it by their actions when you are around. There are so many people, this is not just for the panel, but this is for those who are watching. There are so many people who are cheering and rooting you on in the background, but they have not given the time or taken the time to come to you personally and say, I value what you do for others. I appreciate you. I'm rooting you on. And I'm not saying we have to look for cheerleaders, but just know that there are people that's not going to tell you you're doing a great job. They have so much respect for you that when you're not in the room, they honor you, that they talk great, they do great things about you. And that all lines up with your values, how they feel about you. And I'll give one example. I remember I went over to my parents for an event during the holidays, and all of my older cousins was there. And I said that older cousins were there. And when I came up to the house, they were outside smoking cigarettes now. They were smoking, and they began to put their cigarettes out. And I started laughing. I'm like, what are you guys doing? My older cousin says, we respect you. That's what that's what I'm talking about having a consistency to where those people that have been around you for years, or even the ones who've only known you for days, they have a respect for you, that they want to honor you in what you do and how you speak and what you say. Am I saying when I come into the room, I need you to bow down? No, I'm not. But that goes back to what the ladies talked about before. When you come into a room, you have purpose, you have presence, and you say, I'm here. Not meaning I have arrived, I'm the queen, but I'm here because I'm here to do a service for whoever's in this room that I need to do a service to. And that goes back to your values. How you communicate and how you show up is how people will perceive you. So that is my points on value. And I had one thing that I want to leave you guys with. I don't know where my time is. I think I'm okay. Words of encouragement. So one of my friends said this on Facebook, and I was like, that's it in the whole nutshell. And I even asked her, could I use it? And she's like, go ahead, child. So what you tolerate from other people is a good indicator of the way you feel about yourself. When you honor yourself and set boundaries, your level of tolerance decreases, and the level of respect others have for you will increase. So if you don't like the way someone is treating you, you go back and you reflect on how you're treating yourself when you're in their presence, because it's all about how you are perceived by how others are treating you. When you draw the line and you have a boundary and say, no, enough, you're not going to do that to me, I guarantee you, this has happened to me over and over again. I guarantee you, they will have a different respect for you. They'll either change the way they see you or they'll leave, and that's okay. And ladies, be okay with others walking away, because not everybody is part of your purpose. That's okay. But just remember that you have to have your own values. You have to set your own boundaries, and it's okay, because sometimes God needs to free you up from those who do not value you so that he can place those who do value you into your life. Remember, you are valuable. Does anyone have any questions?
That was great. I enjoyed that. But one thing too, I just wanted to ask and say what you said to your thing about people accepting you sometimes, or not make you feel accepted. I've learned that people will want your gifts, but not you.
Yes.
And that's
Oh,
okay.
good.
That's so
It's a
true.
hard thing. I'm like, I am my gifts. And it's not that you've done anything to them. Sometimes you just don't connect with people, but they love everything you do. They accept everything that you can do for them, but rather it not be you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing that I had to understand. Hey, if you can't have me without my gifts, they're my babies. You know, I'm not gonna leave my baby.
We're a package. It's a package deal.
Package. So you said some very powerful things, but can you tell us how we can reach you?
Yes, absolutely. I have a Facebook page. It's Girls Talk. That's GIRLZ, like zebra, talk. Also, we have a website, which is www.girlstalk.us. There you will find all the information about the retreats that we have each year. You can go there and register. Also, I have a Instagram. Also there you'll find things about the retreat as well as just inspiration. I try to put up different words of encouragement to ladies and just keeping them motivated and okay with being themselves. I really emphasize on being okay with who you are, because we don't need a world full of Tanishas. I promise you we don't.
Right. If we had all the Ford people out there, it would be only one type of car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How the people having cars, you know.
Right.
I reminded somebody had told me one time, really hurt my feelings, like, Tamora, you're such an overachiever. And I mean, that really hurt me because I was like, oh my God, like, why would she say such a bad thing? And I went home and, you know, prayed about it. And the Lord woke me up and dropped in my spirit. McDonald's was an overachiever. That's why they're on the corner. Burger King was an overachiever. So it's the overachievers like all these women on this panel that does make things happen. So I appreciate, I had to go back and tell her, thank you for calling me overachiever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a compliment. That's a compliment,
Yeah.
because sometimes people mean to bring insult, but it's actually complimenting you. And that's something, just for a quick second I can share, something that we debunked at the retreat last year was the word bougie.
Mm-hmm.
When people call us that, we think it's a negative connotation. We think, oh, I don't want to be bougie. Well, bougie were the elite in France. They were the top notch.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you want to be the top notch?
Right.
So we have to remember that some people will look at that bougie